Welcome to today's Explainer. It's wild when you think about it. Why is it that some folks continue thriving and learning well into their 80s, while others just stagnate the exact moment they grab their high school diploma? What makes one person intensely curious for life, while someone else gets perfectly comfortable staying exactly where they are? Well, that is the exact mystery we're unpacking today as we look at how to unlock your brain's true potential.
So, why do some people just stop growing? We usually default to a pretty common assumption to answer this. We think, oh, it must be about natural intelligence, right? Like you either have it or you don't. But the source material we're digging into today reveals something incredibly exciting. The answer isn't intelligence at all. It is entirely driven by psychology. Today, we're going to explore why dedicating yourself to lifelong learning is literally one of the most powerful investments you can make for your brain, your career, and honestly, your overall happiness.
All right, let's kick things off with part 1, the fixed brain myth.
We've got to bust a massive societal myth right out of the gate. This idea that learning ends when education ends. Think about how deeply ingrained this is in us. You finish school, you earn your degree, you find a job, and somewhere along that well-worn path, learning somehow becomes viewed as optional. We treat our education like a box to check off. But as our sources clearly point out, your brain simply does not work that way. Your brain is biologically designed to keep learning for your entire life.
Which brings us nicely to part 2, the science of neuroplasticity.
Now, for decades, scientists actually believed the adult brain was fixed, like poured concrete. They thought once your brain cells were developed in your youth, well, that was it. But modern neuroscience completely changed the game with neuroplasticity. This is the brain's ability to continually reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. That means every single time you learn something new, whether you're picking up a new language, learning a technical skill, reading a thought-provoking book, or even just having a deeply meaningful conversation, you are literally reshaping the physical structure of your brain. It's not fixed. It's a highly adaptive, dynamic organ.
To picture this, think of your brain like a dense, overgrown forest. The more often you walk the exact same path, the clearer and more defined that path becomes, right? That's exactly how our daily habits are formed. But when you challenge yourself and learn something brand new, you force yourself to explore and blaze entirely new trails through that forest. You're literally creating new physical routes in your mind.
You see this perfectly when you look at kids. Children are endlessly curious. They ask hundreds of questions a day, fueled purely by intrinsic motivation. The reward is the learning itself. But somewhere along the line, adults lose this. We trade our curiosity for the comfort of the familiar just because we fear looking uninformed. Instead of asking questions, we retreat right back into our safe little routines. The real tragedy here isn't that adults can't learn. It's that we refuse to give ourselves permission to be beginners again. And remember, literally every expert in the world was once a beginner who probably felt totally overwhelmed.
So, moving right into part 3, fixed versus growth mindset.
The famous psychologist Carol Dweck discovered 2 vastly different ways people think about challenges. A fixed mindset is that little voice telling you your abilities are permanent. It's the voice saying, I'm just bad at math, or I'll never be a creative person. But a growth mindset? That shifts the entire framework. It recognizes that abilities can always improve through effort, strategy, and learning. It flips the whole narrative from, I'm just naturally bad at this, to a completely different, empowering paradigm. And the absolute secret weapon of this growth mindset is just one tiny 3-letter word, yet. Instead of saying, I'm not good at this, you just add that word and say, I'm not good at this yet. I mean, it's a total game changer. It transforms a definitive failure into ongoing progress. It turns your mistakes into vital lessons, and most importantly, it keeps those neural pathways open to growth.
All right, let's jump to part 4, why lifelong learning matters. Let's be real. Our world is changing faster today than at any other point in human history. Technology is evolving at breakneck speed. Entire industries are shifting practically overnight. Artificial intelligence is completely transforming how we work, which means technical skills become outdated incredibly fast. Because of all this, the people who thrive today aren't necessarily the ones with the highest IQs. For sure, they are the ones who are the most adaptable, the ones who never stop learning.
Just imagine 2 professionals over a 5-year stretch. One believes, hey, I've learned everything I need to know for my career. The other dedicates just 30 short minutes a day to learning something new. Well, over 5 years, that first person hits career stagnation and cognitive decline. The second person, massive adaptability and strong cognitive health.
Learning compounds exactly like interest in a bank account. Those small daily investments, they yield astronomical results over time.
And the benefits compound way beyond just your career. Challenging yourself keeps the brain active, it spikes your confidence, and it drastically increases your life satisfaction as you get older. Actually, when you satisfy your curiosity, you're lighting up the reward systems inside your brain. Learning gives your mind a deep sense of purpose, reminding you that your personal growth never, ever has an expiration date.
So, how do we actually pull this off? Part 5. How to keep growing.
Okay, the absolute biggest excuse we all use is time. We buy into this myth that learning requires these huge, uninterrupted blocks of free time to tackle a new skill or study a new topic. But the reality? Learning isn't measured in hours at all. It's measured in consistency. It's all about those daily micro-habits, not weekend-long cram sessions.
Just look at the simple, undeniable math of consistency. If you read just 10 pages a day, which is, maybe 15 minutes of your time, that compounds into 12 whole books a year. Watching just one educational video a day turns into hundreds of new concepts. Small, seemingly insignificant daily actions accumulate into extraordinary intellectual growth. Take Leonardo da Vinci as a prime example. The guy wasn't just a painter. He explored anatomy, engineering, astronomy, architecture, math, botany, the whole shebang. He was literally the ultimate Renaissance man. And modern innovators? They do the exact same thing. They don't confine themselves to a single silo. They explore widely, because the true magic of innovation happens when your brain is forced to connect ideas from completely different fields.
So to kickstart your own neuroplasticity today, you've got to break out of your silo. Here's a few easy things you can do. Read a book totally outside your normal profession. Sign up for a quick online course. Pick up a musical instrument, or study a bit of psychology to understand yourself better. Practice a new language, or even just have a conversation with someone whose life experiences are wildly different from yours. Basically, give your brain the new perspectives it's craving.
But as you start doing all this, I really want to challenge you with a question. Is this actually transforming you? We have to stop measuring our learning by how many certificates we can hang on the wall, or how many random trivia facts we've hoarded. We need to measure learning by its impact. Did that book actually change how you think? Did a conversation increase your empathy? Did a new skill help you solve a real-world problem?
Because at the end of the day, knowledge only becomes wisdom when you put it into action. Reading 100 books without ever changing your behavior, that's literally just storing files on a biological hard drive. Taking action, testing those ideas, making mistakes, and growing from them, that is the alchemy that turns raw information into profound wisdom.
So to wrap up this explainer, it really all boils down to two things: prioritizing your mindset over your age and your curiosity over whatever degree you hold. Your age absolutely does not dictate your ability to learn. Your growth mindset does. That piece of paper you got in your 20s, it doesn't determine your future. Your relentless, ongoing curiosity does. The most successful and fulfilled people are simply the ones who refuse to stop asking questions. Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. Who are you going to be in 5 years? Just picture two versions of your future self. One spends every evening mindlessly scrolling, passively letting time just slip away. The other spends just 20 minutes a day deliberately learning something meaningful. The difference between those two lives won't happen overnight, for sure, but it will happen one day at a time. The greatest classroom you will ever enter is life itself. So, what's one new thing you're going to learn today?